Hello friends, back with me again, Joseph, your host, and welcome back to our channel. Today, as we get closer and closer to Christmas, we're going to talk about a very special saint whose story is one of the most amazing in the entire Bible. His name is Saint Lazarus, and he was a very close friend of Jesus. His feast day is celebrated on December 17th, right in the middle of Advent, and you're about to find out why his story is a perfect reminder of hope and new life. So, who was Lazarus? He lived in a town called Bethany, not too far from Jerusalem, with his two sisters, Martha and Mary. You might have heard of them before. They were a wonderful family, and Jesus loved them very much. Whenever Jesus was nearby, he would often visit their home. They would share meals, talk, and just enjoy being friends. Imagine having Jesus as your best friend coming over to your house. That's how close they were. The most famous story about Lazarus is told in the Gospel of John, and it's truly incredible. One day, while Jesus was away teaching in another town, Lazarus became very, very sick. His sisters, Martha and Mary, were so worried. They knew Jesus had the power to heal people, so they sent a message to him right away. The message was simple. "Master, the one you love is ill." They trusted that as soon as Jesus heard this, he would come running. But something strange happened. When Jesus got the message, he didn't leave immediately. He told his disciples, "This illness is not to end in death, but is for the glory of God, that the Son of God may be glorified through it." Then, he waited for 2 whole days before deciding to go to Bethany. His disciples were confused and even a little scared. They said, "Rabbi, the people there just tried to harm you and you want to go back?" But Jesus knew exactly what he was doing. He told them, "Our friend Lazarus is asleep, but I am going to awaken him." The disciples thought he meant Lazarus was just taking a nap. But Jesus then said to them plainly, "Lazarus has died. And I am glad for you that I was not there, so that you may believe." Jesus wanted to show them, and all of us, something much bigger than just healing from a sickness. He was about to show them his power over death itself. When Jesus finally arrived in Bethany, the situation was very sad. Lazarus had already been in his tomb for 4 days. Many friends and neighbors had gathered at the house to comfort Martha and Mary. When Martha heard Jesus was coming, she ran out to meet him. With tears in her eyes, she said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." You can just feel her heartbreak in those words, can't you? But even in her sadness, Martha had faith. She added, "But even now I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you." Jesus looked at her with so much love and said something amazing. "Your brother will rise." Martha thought he meant on the last day, at the end of time. But Jesus replied with one of the most powerful sentences ever spoken. "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And everyone who lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this?" And Martha, full of faith, said, "Yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Messiah, Son of God." Then Mary came out, and she too fell at Jesus' feet, weeping and saying the same thing. "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw Mary and all the people with her crying, his heart was moved with deep compassion. The Bible tells us something very beautiful and very human, and Jesus wept. He cried because he loved his friend Lazarus, and he felt the pain of Martha and Mary. This shows us how much Jesus truly cares about our sadness and our struggles. Then Jesus asked, "Where have you laid him?" They led him to the tomb, which was a cave with a large stone rolled in front of it. Jesus gave a command that must have shocked everyone. "Take away the stone." Martha, being practical, protested. "Lord," she said, "by now there will be a stench. He has been dead for 4 days." It seemed impossible, even a little scary. But Jesus reminded her gently, "Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God?" So they obeyed. They rolled the heavy stone away from the entrance of the tomb. Then Jesus looked up to heaven and prayed, thanking God his Father for hearing him. He prayed out loud so that the crowd would know that his power came from God. And then, in a loud, commanding voice that echoed for all to hear, Jesus cried out, "Lazarus, come out." And then the impossible happened. The man who had been dead for 4 days began to move. He came out of the tomb, still wrapped in the burial cloths that were tied around his hands and feet, with a cloth over his face. Can you imagine the gasps from the crowd? The shock, the awe, the pure joy. Jesus then said to the people standing there, "Untie him and let him go." And just like that, Lazarus was alive again, reunited with his sisters and his dear friend, Jesus. This miracle was a powerful sign. It wasn't just about bringing one man back to life. It was Jesus showing everyone that he has ultimate power over life and death. He is the resurrection. This event was a preview, a sneak peek, of his own resurrection that would happen on Easter. That's why we remember Lazarus during Advent. His story fills us with hope, reminding us that with Jesus, even the darkest moments, even death, do not have the final say. Jesus brings new life. So what happened to Lazarus after this incredible event? The Bible doesn't tell us much more, but Christian tradition has a few stories. One story, popular in the Eastern Church, says that Lazarus had to flee his home because some leaders were angry about the miracle and wanted to harm him. He sailed to the island of Cyprus, where he was made the first bishop of a city called Kishon. He lived there for another 30 years, serving God and the people. Another story from the Western tradition is even more dramatic. It says that Lazarus, Martha, and Mary were put on a boat with no sails, no oars, and no rudder, and pushed out to sea. But miraculously, the boat drifted safely all the way to the coast of France. There, Lazarus went to the city of Marseille, shared the good news of Jesus with the people, and became their very first bishop. According to this legend, he eventually became a martyr for his faith, giving his life for the Lord who had given him his life back. While we can't be 100% sure which story is true, they both show the same thing. After being raised by Jesus, Lazarus spent the rest of his life sharing the message of hope and resurrection that he had experienced firsthand. He couldn't keep quiet about the amazing love and power of his friend, Jesus. Saint Lazarus is the patron saint of many people, including gravediggers and those who are sick. People pray to him, asking him to intercede for them and bring them hope in difficult times. He's often depicted wearing grave cloths or winding sheets, or in episcopal vestments as a bishop. Lazarus's commemoration varies significantly across traditions. First, it is on December 17th. Historically, his primary feast day in the Western Church and remains a major day of celebration in places like Cuba San Lazaro. Second, it is also on July 29th, in 2021. Pope Francis officially designated this date as the memorial of Saints Martha, Mary, and Lazarus in the general Roman calendar, celebrating the three siblings together. Then, there is also Lazarus Saturday. The Eastern Orthodox and Byzantine Catholic churches celebrate his resurrection on the Saturday before Palm Sunday. Lazarus reminds us that Jesus calls each of us by name, just like he called Lazarus. He calls us out of our own tombs, our sadness, our fears, our mistakes, and invites us into a new life with him. So, this Advent season, when you think of Saint Lazarus, remember the hope he represents. Remember that Jesus is more powerful than any problem we face. He is the resurrection and the life. And just as he brought Lazarus forth from the tomb, he promises eternal life to all who believe in him. What a wonderful gift to think about as we prepare for Christmas. Thank you so much for joining me today to learn about the incredible story of Saint Lazarus. I hope it filled your heart with hope and joy. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more stories about the saints and our Catholic faith. Take care, everyone. Stay safe and healthy as usual. We'll see you next time. God bless you always.